Welcome to The Breakthrough. I'm Allison Dean, VP of Operations at Theorem, and today we are talking with Brian Paradis. He previously served as president of Florida Hospital's Central Region, a $4 billion enterprise, quite tiny. He wrote an amazingly thoughtful book, Lead with Imagination, and currently is a partner with CSuite Solutions, a national strategic advisory firm. He also, like me, appreciates olive oil and salt on toast. Brian sent me this quote from Henry David Thoreau, which is also featured in his book. It's not what you look at that matters. It's what you see. So hi, Brian.
Hey, welcome.
I want to know what that quote means to you.
Well, to me, it was sort of the essence of imagination. And so I think I've had this obsession with imagination since I can remember. And imagination is, in a simple way, just seeing what's around you. And oftentimes, think in a leadership or business setting, seeing what other people don't see.
Okay, so when you were with Florida Hospital Central Region, what was the attitude regarding technology and how involved were you with technology-driven projects? So
I think the major thing that we did was I replaced the technology head over IT and put a business person in charge of IT, to take the IT, technologist kind of person out of being the CIO and put a business person in as the CIO. Mm-hmm. And to me, that was a significant, shift in the way we thought about IT, but also in sort of the notions about getting returns, and understanding what the IT was for. But as we tightened the strategic, planning and strategic orientation and kept it more and more consistent, mm-hmm. from changing sort of on an annual basis, it was almost like a new strategic, plan and focus.
Right.
I think that at that point, then the IT had a better chance to align to it and come underneath, as a supporting, actor against the strategies, and having a business person, it was his job to then translate that into the operations of IT.
So when you made the decision to put the business person as sort of the head of IT, you call yourself an IT skeptic. So yeah. Did that shift at all? Or do you still feel like it's just, I'm always going to be an IT skeptic?
No, and again, there's a flip side of that too, that I should tell you about, is that when I became the chief financial officer, there was a great effort by others in the organization to remove IT from me. Some of my team asked me, why are you taking these beatings, over this? My other answer was, because if you want to change the organization, you need to have control of the central nervous system to do that. And so for me, the flip side, I would say, is that I see IT in many organizations like that as the central nervous system. And so that's sort of what I say about the skepticism. I'm equally frustrated by it because I need a better central nervous system.
Okay.
And so it's stopping us from doing it. On the flip side, I have enormous regard for it because I know that if it works right, it's a strategic advantage, and everything will function, better.
So when someone reads your book, Lead with Imagination, what one thing do you want them to walk away with?
One, leadership's an adventure. So get over yourself. Get over thinking it's about you being comfortable, because it's not. Learn to lead from love instead of fear. Now, again, on a podcast around technology, I'm sure that's going to sound really weird to a number of your listeners. If you look deeply into most executive psyche, it's avoiding problems. And it's self-protection, not do something that gets you in trouble or that gets you fired. Be way more curious and actually learn to be curious. It's a learning thing, and there's a science behind it. So those are probably the three easier kind of takeaways from what people get from the book.
Thank you, Brian. How was that?
It was awesome.
Oh, good. Thank you for watching just a few of the highlights from this week's Breakthrough episode. To see the full podcast, click the link in the description below.